Hello! I just wanted to make a little Costa Rica tip kind of video. Recently my fiance and I went to Costa Rica for a trip, and it was actually a very different place than what I had pictured, and it surprised me in a lot of ways, a lot of good ways. So I just want to make a little video that it's definitely going to be super useful if you're planning to travel to Costa Rica soon. So those are things that basically we did and that ended up being really helpful for us, or things that we wish that we had done that would definitely save us a lot of time and money and energy. So I'm just gonna sum it all up for you guys so you can have a really good and smooth trip. Okay, so Costa Rica, it's this really tiny country that it's in that little line that connects South America and Central America. It is between Nicaragua and Panama, so it has borders with Nicaragua in the north and Panama in the south. Even though Costa Rica, it's like a really tiny country, it is one of the most biodiverse countries in the entire world. So what that means is that you're gonna find all kinds of animals, all kinds of plants, and a lot of bugs, all kinds of bugs. So be prepared. That's actually gonna be tip number one. Make sure you packed insect repellent and sunscreen before you arrive in Costa Rica. And I say that because we've seen places in Costa Rica charge up to $30 for a teeny tiny container of sunscreen, and same thing with insect repellent. There's a lot of tourists there, and most of the tourists, like, you go there and you just pack your bag with your cute little outfits, but you usually forget like sunscreen and insect repellent. So make sure you just pack those two tiny things in your bag. You know, it doesn't take a lot of time, it doesn't take a lot of space. Just pack them and you're gonna be good. Okay, tip number two, rent a car. Okay, definitely rent a car. Costa Rica, there's so many awesome places, but they're all kind of far from each other, and having a car there just gives you so much freedom to, you know, explore the kinds of beauty that Costa Rica holds, and all kinds of beaches, all kinds of forests, volcanic places, hot springs. Like, having a car is definitely gonna be a big flex for you. And preferably, if you can, get a 4x4, and that is because the roads in Costa Rica, they are not that great. They're actually pretty bumpy, and if you're driving at night, there's barely any light, so it can be really dangerous. And usually a lot of the roads there, they're just a single lane, and there are some truck drivers, they're really kind of reckless, they drive really fast. So just be really careful while you're driving there, and if you can, get a 4x4, because you're gonna get a lot of bumps in the road. If you can't find a 4x4 for some reason, it's okay. You're probably gonna do good with a sedan or a normal car. You just will have to be a little bit more careful. Okay, tip number three. Never, ever, ever, ever use Apple Maps, okay? You're gonna get lost. Sign is bad, just don't use it, okay? And if you can, also avoid using Google Maps. I'm a huge Google Maps user. I use Google Maps everywhere, but in Costa Rica, the most reliable app for driving is gonna be Waze. So download Waze. Waze is gonna, you know, is gonna get your back. Whereas the other apps, they have less coverage of Costa Rica roads. You know, so maybe you're like doing a little road trip inland to a hot spring or a volcanic place, and sometimes Google Maps and Apple Maps are not even gonna acknowledge that there's a road right there. So, you know, they're just gonna make you're gonna get lost using those two apps, so just download Waze before you arrive there. Tip number four, speaking of apps, download WhatsApp if you don't have it. I know that people from the US are not really used to WhatsApp because you guys usually just use the text message app on your phone, but in Costa Rica, everyone is gonna communicate using WhatsApp, okay? Your hotel is gonna communicate with you using WhatsApp. Restaurant, you can book a reservation through WhatsApp. If you hire a service, like let's say you hired a photographer or you hired a boat trip, they're all going to communicate and give you the information using WhatsApp. They're not big like email users. They're not going to call you, they're not going to text you. So download WhatsApp, because that's going to make your life easier. And actually, I'm going to extend this step to basically always have WhatsApp on your phone if you're traveling to South America. Okay, seasons. Costa Rica only really has two seasons through the year, which is the dry season and the rainy season. Dry season, it's November till May, and then the rainy season, it's May till October. So basically the dry season is dry, it's like sunny every day, and the rainy season, it's raining every day, you know. So we went there end of April. It wasn't like the peak of the high season, it was kind of till the end, so it wasn't as crowded. That was a great time to go. Like there was still a lot of people there, but way less than usually. And we only had sunny days, so you know, it was great. There are people that really love the rainy season, especially because it's a way more chilled time and there's no many tourists. Although I would say if you go in the rainy season, I would definitely recommend for you to get a 4x4, because in the dry season the bumps are already not that good. So imagine in the rainy season where the roads can be really like super muddy and super wet and you know, water everywhere. So if you go in the rainy season, I would definitely tell you to go with a 4x4. Okay, cloud forests. We definitely would recommend going to Monteverde for that. So basically a cloud forest is this really amazing and foggy forest filled with nature and the most amazing species. So I'll definitely recommend, if you go there, definitely go with a guide, because then he will be able to point it out so many amazing things and species that will definitely go unnoticed otherwise. So a guide is a pretty must for cloud forest, unless you're like a super geeky biology person that already knows all of the species and everything. But if you're not, I would definitely go with a guide, because it's definitely going to make your experience way much better and cooler. Although make sure you bring a light jacket and pants for going to the cloud forest for 2 reasons. So first is that the temperature in the cloud forest are way cooler than compared to the rest of Costa Rica. And second, because it's a forest and there's a lot of bugs there. So like if you can cover your body, you're gonna get less bitten than if you don't cover your body, that's for sure. Okay, try to eat like a local, okay? Definitely try gallo pinto, that's a must. It's like their most traditional food. They eat it for breakfast, they eat it for lunch. I would eat it every day for breakfast and it was just so good. The hotel that we stayed at, like I'm kind of biased because their food was amazing, but in their breakfast they would have it every single day and it's just like delicious. And the locals, they eat it with, you know, eggs and hot sauce. I personally am obsessed with different countries' breakfast, so every country I go, I really love eating breakfast like a local, like really being able to enjoy their culinary and their traditional breakfast. So that's a big thing of mine, but you know, just eat whatever you want. But I would highly encourage you to eat like a local at least once in your trip and get to like really dive into their culinary, because at least for me that's a big thing of being in another country. Like if I'm in another country and I'm not eating like a local, am I even in another country? Like what am I even doing there? Like eat like a local at least one day if you can. Okay, monkeys. So there's a lot of monkeys in Costa Rica. You're definitely gonna spot quite a few while you're there. And they're super cute and all, but like don't be fooled, because sometimes, baby, they are fire and they can be super mad at you, and sometimes they can like steal your food and steal your sunnies and steal your phone. And there's this thing they do also, that they basically poop on their own hand and they throw their poop at you. And let's not even get started how I found out about that. Okay, let's just like keep it quiet for now. Just be aware that monkeys can like just randomly throw poop at you, and they're good with that. They don't even care. You know, so just kind of try to keep a distance from a monkey. Make sure you get a SIM card with internet, okay? Especially because if you're driving, you're gonna be using Waze and directions every time, so you need a SIM card with internet. You can also check with your own carrier, because like for example my carrier here in Brazil, Claro, it already has included in my plan. In most countries in America that I go, I can just use my internet normally. I don't have to activate anything. I just go to another place and I use my internet normally, and it doesn't even charge me extra. So maybe your carrier does the same. So check that before you arrive there. If it's not included on your plan though, then you can just get a SIM card in there for like $10-20, and it's gonna last you the whole trip. Okay, volcanoes. So Costa Rica, it's a highly volcanic place. In total they have 67 volcanoes, but only 6 of them are active. So that means that all around Costa Rica you're gonna find a lot of places that has hot springs, which is basically those like naturally warm waters. So naturally warm pools, naturally warm rivers, waterfalls. It's like really cool to be at, and it's actually quite good for your skin. Like in the places you go, they're normally gonna have some mud that you can put all over your body, and it all has a lot of like really good things for your skin, which I won't be able to name them because I'm not a dermatologist. So if you want to visit a cool and beautiful volcano with a lot of hot springs around, make sure you go to Arenal for that. They're all not active right now, so before you go, make sure you just Google real quick what is the current state of the volcano, so we don't just randomly arrive there while the volcano is exploding, you know. So we ended up going on a hot springs that were actually closer to where we were, but I didn't really love that experience because it was so packed. We also didn't choose a good time. So if you can, definitely plan yourself ahead to go on some hot springs in Arenal and Tabacon, because they're definitely going to be super worth it. And preferably go early in the morning where there's not a lot of people there. Okay, prices. Costa Rica, it's not a cheap country. It's actually quite expensive. I would say that in terms of prices would be kind of the equivalent, or sometimes even a little bit more expensive than comparing with the prices in the US. The good news is, especially for Americans, is that tips are already included in most services in Costa Rica. So basically any restaurant or bar you go in Costa Rica will already have a 10% service tax, aka S tips, and a 13% federal tax already included in their prices in the menu. Of course, that, let's say you really love your server, you think they did a really good job and you want to tip them extra, you always can. I'm sure you're going to be super happy. But if you don't tip them extra, it's totally fine. It's not like they expect extra tips, since the tip it's already included in the final price of your bill. And by law, those 10% service fee has to go straight to your server. Over 80% of visitors of Costa Rica are from the US. So even though it's a Spanish-speaking country and the currency is the Costa Rican colon, most places will be able to accept payment in US dollars and will be able to communicate with you in English without a problem most of the times. But what I've heard, and that we regret not doing, once you pay things in dollars, they end up being way more expensive because some of currency stuff. So if you want to save up, you can arrive in Costa Rica, go to a bank, don't exchange your money in the airport, go to any bank and they will be able to exchange your money from dollar to Costa Rica colon, and then you can use that money to pay for everything. Okay, especially if you want to keep your budget low, avoid the big group tours. If you rented a car, you will be much better just driving the place yourself, you know, just get some snacks in the car and do a little drive. It's so good, honestly. You don't really need the big group tours unless you're like really wanting to, you know, bond with other people. Then yeah, sure, go for the group tours. I personally am a big road tripper lover. You know, like for me, there's nothing better than just like hitting the road with my fiance driving while I'm eating some snacks and chocolate, listening to our own music, you know. Nothing better than that. So let's say you saw it on the internet or someone stopped you with this really cool, interesting group tour. Just Google the place and you'll be able to go there driving, you know, and plan your own itinerary and have your own food and drive yourself, listen to your own music. It's so much better. So in Costa Rica, you're actually gonna find all types of accommodation. You can find Airbnbs, you can find good hotels. So for our stay, we picked a really nice boutique hotel because it was actually a very special occasion for us. So the place that we went for our entire stay was Cala Luna. Really magical, like we really didn't want to like leave that place. It really made our experience in Costa Rica really remarkable and really special. The hotel is amazing, the staff is amazing, everyone's so nice, the food is incredible, the place is incredible. It really made our stay extremely special. The rooms are like in little villas that are on the middle of the jungle, and it's really good if you want some more privacy for your trip. They even have their own private beach, which is right in the front of the hotel, and it's not like other people can walk around it. So that beach, it's just basically only are gonna see people from the hotel there. We would go in the little hotel beach every single day, and actually for most of the times that we went on the beach, it was literally just the two of us there. So it's really good because it's really private. It was a really special and unique experience, and we wouldn't have traded for the world. And last, I think that's kind of pretty obvious, but be respectful to the locals, be respectful to the environment. Costa Rica, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world, and it's massively because it's really well preserved and really good taken care of. So while you're there, make sure you're respectful, make sure you take care of your own trash. Don't throw things at the beach, don't throw things at the street. Just treat it with a lot of respect. Also, the locals in Costa Rica, they are all so nice, and they're just so loving and gentle and kind, and they literally just greet each other with pura vida, which means like pure life. It genuinely feels like they live by that pura vida lifestyle. Like they really are all about like enjoying life to the fullest and being close to the nature and being connected and being kind and being loving. So make sure you are respectful, make sure you are nice, make sure you take care like you would take care of your own home. I think that's it. Thank you for staying all the way to here, and I really hope you have an amazing Costa Rica trip, and I hope that my tips will have helped you to have a better and a smoother trip. Bye bye.